come all this way. What do you want?
I want you to answer for your crimes. I am a veteran of the Great Galactic War. I've carried many titles into combat. Only one matters now. Outlander.
Outlander, surrender!
The Empire and Republic have all but fallen. You're our last hope.
You want to fight? I'm ready.
You do not have to stand against me. Instead, I will share all of this with you, if you will only kneel.
Begin transmission.
You are listening to Corellian Run Radio, your route through hyperspace to the latest news on Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Hi, and welcome to Corellian Run Radio. This is episode 150 and recording live Sunday, August the 9th, 2015. My name is Jason. I'm joined by my co-host Heather. Howdy, Heather. How you doing?
Hey, Jason. I'm good. I'm good. I've been doing a lot of leveling in game. I'm up to level 57 with my Togruta, and so I'm back on Rishi doing those quests, and I got to see the Corellian Run scoundrels all over the place.
Awesome.
And yeah, and me and a couple of my guildies, we did some of the fallen, or not fallen empire, but the forged alliances flashpoints, the ones that you get the Jesus droids with, and we went in there with like three of us plus three of our Jesus droids, and so that was very fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can bring in like 9 of your friends there.
Yeah, so that
Companions
was
and
that was
Jesus droids.
fun. And then, we've also, my guild, we've also still been working on Master Blaster hard mode in the Ravagers hard mode operation. So, we were working on Torque for a long time. So I guess I'm not too upset by not beating Master Blaster yet. I can tell that we're making some progress, and I think by the time, or once we get the mechanics down a little bit better, then it'll be much easier. Kind of like Sword Squadron.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get the hang of that fight, then it's easy after that. But I think for Torque, it's a much more random, just because you kind of don't know where that fire is going to be. So I think Torque is still probably a harder fight than Master Blaster.
Well, in Master Blaster, I've been watching a lot of the hard mode. Master Blaster is almost like a marching band, and you got to move kind of together, move out of the way for those big mines and also the bubbles that you have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks.
And so we
kinda
all
wild.
have our own spots, but everyone has to be perfect because you can't, everyone needs to take care of themselves. No one can really carry you in there because you'll kill everyone
Yeah,
else
kill everybody else.
if you don't do the right thing. So
Yeah.
so that's been fun, and we're going to work on it some more tonight.
So now that you saw the opening there, what do you think of the new trailer?
Lana's hair is definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. It doesn't really show, I mean, it looks like it's just showing us the story. It's not really much of it's not showing a new world or anything, or I mean, maybe it was. Maybe I'm just
Well,
not paying
we're
attention.
actually looking down on the world. We don't get to see the city.
Yeah, I guess when they say that it's recorded with actual gameplay, I was hoping to see, someone in the middle of a mission or something. But I guess
Gotcha.
this is more of like the cinematics that they're showing
Yeah,
us.
be in-game cinematic. So technically, it is in-game
So
footage.
yeah, it is in game. It's just
Yeah. We also let's see. My week. Let's see. I got a picture there. I've made a new Sork. Got the Frito Nad outfit, so I've got that. That kind of looks like the metal angel wings on it.
oh, cool.
So I did that. And then the next picture you'll see is a death scene. We were trying to do the Terror from Beyond Nightmare. Yeah, they don't. It's Nightmare, even though it's 55. Well, that's no joke.
Yeah, I
And
still haven't even gotten. Okay, people are gonna be like, "Ah, you're such a filthy casual."
yeah,
I
no,
still haven't gotten Terror from Beyond, like the last boss down in Nightmare mode.
that's still no joke. I mean, it's a lot of things. If you don't do the mechanics right, you're you can one shot stuff. I mean, you're dead.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, we haven't really been working on it. It's kind of hard to go back and do old stuff when we're still trying to clear the new stuff
yeah,
in regular hard mode, which, we'll talk about hard and nightmare mode in a little
oh
bit.
yeah, we definitely have some info on that. A little bit of info. But yeah, the nightmare. And we're not like the world's greatest, rating guild or anything like that. We don't really have. So we're very casual, and so in our approach to a lot of things. So we're just looking to have fun. So we're learning the mechanics and getting that stuff down. So that's kind of interesting. We'll definitely get it down. We're gonna. I think we've got a bunch of people actually signed up for it. We tried to do it 16, and I think that was our problem. We tried to do 16 nightmare. Yeah, that was pretty tough. And even with the writhing horror there, 16 people and trying to avoid all those bubbles and everything like that, those little splash pools, not so much fun. But we will definitely get it down on that. We did some regular raiding. I've been gearing up a Sork. I brought a Sage over, so now I'm kind of using Legacy gear back and forth. So I've been spending all my comms, making sure I get the right stats and everything like that, as I'm working to get them to run through Ravagers and hopefully TOS. So I get through that. So I'm actually thinking about putting my sniper on the shelf, especially for the Terror from Beyond thing, so I can self cleanse and kind of self heal and stuff like that, help our healers out a little bit. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. We also have a guest on right now. Who do we got, Heather? Who's on? Who's on today?
We have Joey from the Gadgets and Khajiits blog, who is also one of our Corellian Run Radio staff writers.
Yes, he is. Hey, Joe.
Hey guys. Hey.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, what have you been doing this past week or so?
I have been doing mainly a lot of PvP on my Sork healer, getting that in before they changed them all up.
So, how are you liking the Sork heals?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it more than the other ones.
Oh yeah. So
I
what
think
level?
it's just-
What level are you at?
This character's 60.
Oh, so are you doing ranked or are you just doing regs?
No, I'm just doing regs.
Nice. How you like the new PvP stuff, the changes with the comms and everything like that?
It's definitely helped me gear a lot faster on that character. I think it's a good thing.
Nice. So anything else you've been up to in game or out of game?
Been doing some blogging on the blog. We've just revamped it, so
What blog's
yeah.
that?
That is Gadgets and Khajiits
Khajiits,
that
nice.
Heather has mentioned.
Yeah, I think Heather actually got to know a little bit more about you and the blog a little bit this past week, right, Heather?
Yeah, I nominated him for a Leapster Award, which is an award for bloggers, given by bloggers, just to kind of get to know the writers, to know a little bit more about them outside of what they usually write about.
So what all did you guys talk about?
Well, I did ask him about his favorite. Was it me that asked that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked you what your favorite Star Wars character was, and you said Mara Jade.
Oh,
And
excellent.
yeah, and that you'd also like to create a Star Wars game based around Mara Jade. You want to tell us a little bit more about what you would do for that?
Yeah, because I think it's such like an interesting character, being like a secret spy that no one really knows about, and it'd be interesting to have a game played around it, really. And it's not really been done before, so I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be excellent, especially with such games, because if everybody doesn't know, Mara Jade is a female character, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that would be excellent. I mean, you're talking. I know. I was reading in the article. I mean, you like Tomb Raider and stuff like that. It would be definitely fit along the lines of Tomb Raider and possibly Mass Effect and stuff like that. I think that's great. Have a female lead. So now, what other games are you getting into? I mean, I know we're kind of rambling on here. We do actually have questions, folks. We are actually not just going off the cuff here. I'm just kind of rambling on a little bit. So, actually, let's just get right into the questions. Why am I messing around here with this stuff?
Yeah, let's get into the community buzz.
Alrighty. So, as we've been talking to Joe a little bit, learning a little bit about him. So, Joe, how about you officially introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into gaming, and how you came across us?
Well, I got into, well, I'm Joe, yeah, from Gadgets and Gadgets, and I got into gaming about, God, it was quite a few years ago. It was when I was like 7, and the PS2 was the main console, and I just played all those kinds of games like Simpsons Hit and Run, and that good stuff.
Awesome.
That's pretty much.
So that was
How'd you start playing SWTOR?
I signed up for the beta of SWTOR when it was announced because I was like, well, cool, it's another Star Wars game, but then I couldn't obviously pay for a subscription because I was just a kid.
Huh.
Which was, yeah, so then I came back, yeah. Yeah, I came back when free-to-play launched and leveled up my character that way.
Oh, nice.
How was the free-to-play experience for you, Joe?
Oof. It was pretty bad. I mean, you couldn't really do that much, especially when leveling. I mean, only 3 loot rolls was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I got there. I got there in the end.
Awesome. Awesome way to go.
Do you subscribe now, though?
Yeah, I do subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those perks are nice to have.
So you said you
Definitely.
like doing PvP. So so do you do a lot of rank now that you're subbed, or do you just like to do the regular war zones?
I usually do just regular war zones. I think they're a bit more my kind of style. I'm not really good enough for ranked yet. But I do raid quite frequently.
What's your favorite class or advanced class?
Sniper. Sniper all the way. Sniper's the
Yes.
best class.
Yeah.
Rule. Snipers rule.
Which is your favorite
Sniper's big
discipline?
Marksmanship.
Yeah. That's the one when I leveled a sniper, I played marksmanship, but I'm sure that class has changed a lot since I leveled my sniper, which is probably like at least a year ago.
I was going to say Miss Deception over here in her assassin.
Well, I mean, I do try to at least play the other classes. I just I don't care to bring them into endgame.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. Lately, I haven't been wanting to bring my sniper in end game either. But no, I have to agree with Joe. I like the sniper class. So you also write about video games and other stuff like that. Where do you write? What do you write about? And how did you get into writing?
Well, let's start at the beginning. I got into writing about 2 years ago, where my friend Sam, who I think's in the chat room, posted on Facebook that he had started a gaming blog, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty fun. I think I'll ask him if I could start writing. And then one thing led to another. I did a few reviews. We got sent a few games, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Wow,
That is pretty cool. You got sent games?
that's pretty
Free
awesome.
games?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And yeah, here we are now.
That's awesome. So what games? I have to ask, what games you get sent?
Yeah, we got sent Saints Row, Get
Oh
Out
my
of Hell,
God.
and that came out.
That is not
That's
like
a pretty good game.
That's a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. We got sent a few other ones I can't really think off the top of my head. I haven't actually reviewed anything in a while.
Oh,
So you got any tips for anybody that wants to get into writing like that?
My main tip would just be get out there and do it. Like, there's many ways that you could start writing and like posting a blog, but you're never going to do it if you just don't actually start and write that first article, really.
Good
yeah,
advice.
yeah. Like you don't have to be perfect right away. Just do it. It's like that
Yeah, I look-
Shia LaBeouf motivational video. Just do it. Did you guys watch that, or
Yeah.
am I just making a fool? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So now, do you like raiding?
I do like raiding.
Uh,
Yeah, what's your favorite operation? What's your, like, are you pretty good? Well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that, but like, how far have you progressed?
Well, my favourite operation is Eternity Vault, to my guild's utter distaste. Even though, I don't know, I think that was because it was the first operation I actually did. I just really, really liked it.
I still like that operation too, actually.
Yeah, it's
I know, it's
fun
really
just to
fun.
do with your guild. I mean, especially when everyone knows what they're doing and stuff. It's just kind of a social thing and not so much of a like pressure that we have to do everything perfectly.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be like that until they bump it up to level 65. Then it'll
Oh,
probably
bring
be.
it on, bring it on.
I know
Oh
it'll
yeah,
be.
I'm sure you're looking forward to that. I mean, yeah, I actually like Eternity Vault too, so that'll be
It's
exciting at
because
level
no,
65.
it's because no one wants to do it with me. I have to like force them into doing it with me. So now we're gonna have a reason.
Exactly. I think that's going to be cool. Other than when people start like, "Oh, it's too hard. I can't understand it." So, what besides PvP and raiding, what else do you like to do in the game?
Um, well, I like exploring like the different places in the game that I haven't been. Try and get those like achievements and datacrons. Not really much of a Flashpoint person. I found them a bit boring.
So now, how many of the datacrons have you got? Have you got all of those?
I've gotten quite a few, but I can't seem to find a group to do the fleet datacrons.
Oh, well, you know, and Jason's guild, in Unholy Alliance, they do those datacron pulls every once in a while, but that's in the Harbinger though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
What's
need to come over to the EU.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we'll try to find a guild for you in the EU, or at least someone that does those pulls every once in a while.
Yeah, that's hard unless you get a good group. But when you get a good group, it can be fun. I mean, it still can challenging if you don't have everybody pull, with the pulls, the sork pulls, and stuff like that. But it definitely can be fun. You definitely have to have people know what they're doing, but it's a good time.
So when did you start being a part of Corellian Run? How did you get involved with the website?
Yeah, I get involved by listening to this podcast for a very, very long time, and I heard that you were looking for writers, and I thought, hey, I don't really do much blogging about like personal opinions on the other website, so I thought, why not give it a go?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, that's pretty much my story too. I'm like, they're looking for writers. Why not?
Exactly. So, as if people can see there, if they're watching the video, if not, but what is the article that you write for us, Joe?
I write a article called "Looking for Group," which focuses on like PVE and events sides of the game.
So, what do you like to do with that article? And do you have anything in your mind right now you're currently working on for your next article?
Yes, I am working on state of the different servers and who's playing on what server, because over in the EU, the server that I'm on, Tomb of Freedom now, is kind of dying.
Oh, that's not good. So, have you thought
Yeah,
about
people are
using?
leaving.
Have you thought about using the reduced rate on the with the transfers, transferring a character?
I would, but I've spent all my cartel coins.
Oh, yeah, I did transfer one of my characters the other day. It's still 90 cartel coins, which is very cheap compared to what it was.
Yeah, wasn't it used to be 1800?
1800, yeah.
So now, aside from the video games, are there any other hobbies and stuff you like to do away from the game? And what are those?
I do lots of different cooking. I like cooking different things.
Cooking. What kind of
Which,
cooking?
yeah, I do. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's quite fun to cook something that actually tastes nice. And I do karate as well.
Cooking and karate. What a
Yeah,
combination.
he's a black belt.
Oh, really? That's awesome,
Mm,
man.
thank you.
So how long you been doing that?
A very, very long time. Like, years.
Years. Well,
Yeah.
obviously you have been studying for a while if you got a black belt in that, so that is awesome.
And I know in your Leapster Award questions, you said you wanted to be a lawyer. So are you studying that right now, or?
No, because over here I think it works slightly different to America, whereas our college is like slightly different to yours. So I have to wait until I go to college to study law, and then you go to like university, which would be your college, to get a degree.
Okay.
So now over there, how long does it take roughly for your college in studying law before you can actually practice?
College is 2 years, and then university I think is like 4, 3, depending on what you're doing.
That's probably roughly about the same, I would imagine.
You know, one thing you might want to look into is video game law, because there's a lot of issues with that. I forgot what the name was, but Tenebras, he was one of my people on Twitter. He does video game law, and so if you really like games, you should try it.
I'll have to talk to him about that.
That's a pretty cool idea. Video game law. Time to go back in school. So I think we're going to jump right into our rapid chat. We've kind of flip-flopped things. We're doing the interview first today so that we can all three talk about the events later on. So, Joe, you haven't seen these questions, and we're going to just ask you to answer them as fast as you can, and just give us your answer. They're going to be related to Star Wars or SWTOR, so we're going to jump right into those. So, what is your favorite Star Wars starship? The X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, or Millennium Falcon?
X-Wing.
X-Wing. Excellent.
What's your favorite Star Wars film?
Empire Strikes Back.
Awesome.
Cool.
I think that one's winning outright.
Yeah.
Which planet in the Star Wars galaxy
It's
would
the
you like?
best one.
Oh, it is. I have to agree. That's at least for me. That is. So, which planet in the Star Wars galaxy would you like to live on?
Alderaan before it got blown up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Old Republic got about 3,000 years, so it's okay.
Good 3,000 years. A good lifetime you can spend there.
Which faction, Empire or Republic?
Empire. Empire always.
Woohoo! Let's see. What is your favorite SWTOR NPC? Darth Mar, Satele Shan, or Lana Beniko?
Ooh. Satele Shan.
Oh,
but she was the
Empire.
only Republic one.
Nice. Threw a twist there.
Yeah,
Like it.
Lana Beniko is just so annoying.
So which weapon, lightsaber or blaster?
Blaster.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool. I should have known that since he was the sniper guy. I should have known. Excellent. Well, that is our rapid shot round. And I think we will now kind of flip-flopping this. We're going to have to jump right back in to the news.
From the Newsnet and beyond.
And, well, in the news, I have to start off things with like we started off the show, with the new trailer. The Outlander. Become the Outlander. What do you guys think of the new trailer?
Well, what I said earlier, I thought I was hoping that we would get to see some. I mean, I know it's gameplay, but it looks more just like cutscenes. I wish we could actually see gameplay in the middle of a mission or something.
How about you, Joe? What do you think of the trailer?
Oh, yeah, like Heather said, I feel the way that they advertised that stream so much, and they only showed such a tiny amount, and what they showed, I really thought they were going to show gameplay and actual missions from the expansion.
Yeah, well, even besides the short trailer, which it was just a little over a minute, I'm kind of like you guys. It was kind of a short time, but I'm thinking that it was kind of like SWTOR is the little one that just got invited to the party at the last minute invitation by EA, so I'm not sure if that's necessarily BioWare Austin is up for that. So, of course, we did get to see James Olin. He introduced the trailer. And he did make an announcement that Nico Okar, you'd have until the 10th. You can still get him as a companion, so be sure to subscribe and get in that game. But I'm like you guys. I kind of was hoping to see a little more actual gameplay. I guess maybe they're using that as signifying that the cutscenes and the story are going to be what they're wanting to focus on as far as the story getting that established first.
I mean, it was still cool. I mean, obviously not as cool as Sacrifice. That was like the most amazing trailer ever. But
Well, if we could actually play a game that looked like the Blur trailers, I mean, who would not want that? I mean, seriously.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, but it was still cool to see Lana coming back, even though we knew she was coming back, and we could see our character or the Outlander interacting with the Emperor.
And you mentioned her haircut. She looks buff. She's been working out. I mean, she's like, maybe it's the armor or whatever, but good grief.
Yeah, and I can't tell if she's supposed to have one lightsaber or two
I
lightsabers. She's
think
had
I think
one
somebody heard
lightsaber.
you, Heather. I think somebody heard you.
Yeah, she had one lightsaber before, but then we saw those concept pictures with her with two lightsabers. But then in the trailer, we only see her
See
with
her with
one
one.
lightsaber.
I'm thinking, like,
So,
Heather caught us. We have to switch it. So she's back to being the Sork, it looks like. So, but she did stab somebody in the video. It's like, ugh.
yeah, so I guess we'll see.
And that, of course, we also had, let's see, other things that went on at Gamescom.
The Cantina.
Gamescom. Oh my gosh, yes, the Cantina. We, I guess we get to have I need the little teletype thing, you know, do. This just in, this just in. We got some new news on Dolphy's site. Just within, what, a couple hours ago?
Yeah.
What was that, Heather?
According to Bureau of Research on the Progenitor, they reported the news that there will be some new stat changes. Primary stats will be removed, like willpower, strength, cunning, aim, and a new stat will take place to represent the main stats for every class called Mastery. And we're not sure what's going to happen with secondary stats yet. To me, this it's interesting. That's Joe's word, actually, that we talked about over the show. It's interesting, but I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make too much judgment about it before we learn more, but just hearing about it now, it sounds like they're dumbing it down. Like I'm gonna have the same stats on all my characters, and so I can legacy transfer the same gear set back and forth to like every single class, so I don't really need to work on leveling anything. And
Well, maybe not. Because we talked about this before, and then just as we started talking, the word mastery came into mind, and it's like, I don't think that I know Joe did a little bit, and I'm not sure which rendition of Star Wars Galaxy he played. You didn't get to play any of that, did you, Heather?
No.
And in that game, you got skills, and you get to choose a tree that you want to go up. And say, like, I want to pick carbine or pistols. If I use a pistol in the game, and that led to, like, killing something with that weapon, I got XP in that category. Or, like, say, if I was using, like in this game, if I'm a Sork and I use lightning, does that mean if I'm using lightning more, I level up that tree a little bit faster? That was how they did the skill trees in that game. So when I see mastery, I don't know. But this is also talking stats, so I'm not exactly sure. That's the big thing. We don't know enough right now to make a true judgment, I guess. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, like we were talking about before the show, I think that we haven't had enough information to really make a judgment. I just really hope that they know what they're doing.
I think we all do on that. Let's see. What else? I was looking at GSF. It looks like no news for now. They're working a lot with Knights of the Fallen Empire, obviously getting ready to release that in October, but they have said that it could be coming sooner than later on some stuff like that. Now, that's probably meeting 2016, early 2016 possibly, but that looks like something to definitely talk about for later. Anything else that you guys notice on the Q&A? I know there's a lot to take into
With
it.
Nightmare Operations, that's kind of a big thing. It says
Hmm.
that they're never going to exist anymore. And this is according to, from a lead designer saying Nightmare Ops will never exist anymore. Only story and hard mode. But this does not mean that they're suddenly going to get rid of Nightmare EV. The old operations that already have operations will still have Nightmare, but
This is for
ongoing, it's going to be only
TOS,
story and hard.
Ravengers, and any new coming operations.
Yeah.
Now, as we talked about earlier in the show, and maybe we should record the before show stuff. Um, we actually talked about if they continue to make hard modes like they've made TOS and Ravagers, are you okay with that? Because I mean, you're a progressive progression rater. What do you think about that, Heather?
I mean, I think it's fine because, back before Ravagers and Temple of Sacrifice, I mean, we didn't really have any reason to do story. We would just do hard because of, it was easy enough, but it was still challenging. So, I mean, it was just kind of ridiculous to just do story. So now that we only have the two modes, it's, you know, easy or hard. We want to do hard, we want to work on hard. And if we do want to take it easy, at least it's not just like um, a complete cakewalk to do
Yeah.
story. It's at least not, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's kind of sad for the progression raiders, but if they truly keep the hard modes hard, then I think it should be fine.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the ones that have cleared hard mode,
Yeah.
Temple of Sacrifice and Ravagers, and they've been expecting to this nightmare, these nightmare ops, and they're just not ever going to come.
Yeah. Well, now I will say if they're going to do that, definitely keep the hard modes hard and give the story. They want to give story away. That's fine. And when I say giveaway, it's still difficult to even people that are casually doing the game. Definitely keep the hard modes hard. Don't nerf those. Give the progression raiders something that they can go for. And I definitely think that they will need to get their operation calendar as far as production. I think they will have to get that in order. If they're going to only offer a story mode and hard mode, they definitely need to make sure they follow along with their production schedule on new operations and stuff like that. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. They've added a bunch of stuff. Sorry, I'm have to go through this again, folks. Let's see.
Oh, there's that hub thing that they're planning on having,
Yes,
kind of
thank
kind
you.
of like a fleet, but you're gonna be able to see both pub and imp players on it. So I'm wondering what that is. It's just another. I mean, we've established that the guild ships have not taken away
From the
a
hub.
huge population from
Yeah.
the fleet, so I think it'll work just fine.
Yeah,
It would be kind of fun to see the other players too.
Yeah, they answered it like it's going to be similar to Ziost with the space station, but it will be the size of the main floor of the fleet. So that's going to be pretty big then. So how many PvPers are going to grief on that, or are they going to prevent you from doing that? Ooh,
Most likely you probably can't. It's probably going to be like a sanctuary area,
probably.
which is kind of sad. I mean, I wish they'd just make it a free for all, but
Free
then
for all.
I don't know. I mean, if
You
you're
never.
sitting there, you're
Nobody would
trying to
go to
like
that hub.
turning,
You know that.
yeah, if you're trying to like sit there, turn in your missions or do some crafting, and like people keep attacking you.
Yeah. And along those lines, if of course level 60 comes, they will be offering the expansion mission, just like similar they did to Shadow of Revan, and also the Rise of the Hutt cartel. When you go to accept that expansion mission to start the Knights of the Fallen Empire, you will get a double warning that you cannot go back and finish any of your quests as regarding that are open as far as like class quests and stuff related to like that. So like McKeb, any old missions like on Ilum or something like that, as far as they're related to going towards like the Ilum story, I believe is how they're wording that.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that all my companions are at a 100% affection before the expansion comes out.
And I believe that is along the line and companions, any companion missions and stuff. You want to finish those up before you accept that. Let me see.
Is there anything that you saw in there, Joe, that you wanted to mention?
Yeah. Now you've sort of covered it. It's just on a PvP server. I think that they should give us the option to flag for PvP in this new area, because with the new stuff that they've added, you don't really have much option to fight in open world anymore.
Yeah, I have to agree. If you're on a PvP server, I still think that should be your option. At the very least, you should have the option to flag yourself. I mean, I get on the PvE server, you don't want anybody to get griefed or anything like that, but if you're on a PvP server, aren't you already, agreeing to that?
But that's what I say. I always like it when people just come up and randomly attack me when I'm like traveling through a planet, because that's why I made a character on that server.
Yeah, I mean, and especially right now with the cost of transferring, like we talked about, 90 cartel coins, if you don't like that, you could leave that. Or,
Yeah, so I'd really like to see something for PvP players in the new planets and areas. I think I did ask that question, and they said they were going to be doing something with it that they think PvP players will like, but obviously they haven't told us anything about it. And I really wish they would, especially, so people would stop trying to poke their nose and find out, so it could just be official and PvP players could get excited. But I mean, if they're not telling us, it just makes me think that it's not prepared yet, and that makes me worried. And I don't want to worry. I want everyone to be happy.
yeah, I agree. I hope that they definitely get some loving like that for the PvP servers and community. So. I did like the fact that they agreed that some of the bosses that they're talking about that in the current operations, they kind of dropped the ball as far as melee classes, and that they are going to make sure that they test any new operations going forward, that they will take an all melee. I believe that was what they talked one of the questions, and I like the question. That was a good question. They are going to bring a whole melee team and then also a whole range team to make sure that both these groups that are just one specific area can clear it. And so I agree with that, I think. And what do you think with that, Heather? You being melee yourself.
Well, my team, it's me melee, and then I have 3 ranged players
Yeah.
in our operations group. I mean, there's certain fights where it's definitely more difficult to do some DPS, especially like Torque, but I don't know, there's still a lot of fights where it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you form your operations team, I think that should be part of your thing to make sure it's balanced. Like, so if you do have all melee, of course it's going to be really hard, especially like on Master Blaster, for instance, where you have these giant circles around you. And if everyone is melee, then it'll be really hard to avoid, and it's going to be really hard for some of those players to even hit the boss if they have to stay away from the circles. So I think just when you do these operations, you have to just think of your group. I don't think that, I know it says that fight is maybe not melee friendly, but I mean, you can have 2 melee players and still do fine. I mean, I don't know, I guess. I mean, I know that they do need to make fights more melee friendly, but I feel like you all should also think about your own group and say, well, okay, if we want to beat this boss, then we should organize ourselves in this way and not, not just have to be like, okay, well, we're all melee. Let's try and do it. I think that'll be extremely difficult, especially when your 2 tanks are already melee.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think you have to look at your group's makeup, but I also don't like to say, I'm sorry, we can't take you. You're an awesome DPS, Marauder, or Deception Assassin, and you're parsing higher than almost anybody else, but because you're melee, we can't afford to take you.
I mean, I think it's understandable if a group is like, hey, we already have 3 melee on our team. We'd like to take a range. That's understandable. But then for a team to just say, oh, you're melee, period? No, thank you.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. I think there has to be kind of a balance with that. I mean, you don't want to be in a group where, I'm sorry, you're not ranged? Nah, we're not taking it.
Yeah, so I think people. I mean, I like that they're testing it out with all melee, but I also enjoy playing melee with my 3 range companions or my 2 range guildies. It's more interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think that you want to have a good mix in your operations group. So that was good that they're working on kind of coming with a balance on that. One other thing I saw, somebody asked a question about guild transfers, and they say they are working on stuff that might make it easier for guilds to move, as of not losing their ship, decos, etc. Which I think that would be a good thing, so that people, if whole guilds want to move, that would be nice for them to do that.
Yeah, especially, like people on Prophecy of the Five. It's like their poor guild is there, but the people have moved on to like Harbinger or Shadowlands, and they still have this great guild that's sitting there, and that would be really cool.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would like to see that happen. More guild functionality altogether, but helping them to transfer would definitely be something good, and it's good to see they're working on it. Another thing that the Seeker droid and macro binocular, they're not releasing anything right now. They say the story would kind of be a little bit of a spoiler when asked about that, but they are definitely going to say that there will be some stuff that's going to be happening with that. So I like to see some of those. I didn't care for them a lot, but it was nice to have a change of pace type of missions.
Yeah, those are some really interesting missions. Like there's one where you're like running in traffic, like on the flying vehicles and
Oh, that's
stuff.
ridiculous.
Oh my
That
God,
was
that's
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts. I don't necessarily like that part of it, but yeah.
And a lot of players they just don't know about it because they don't do it. And then when you go in there and you do that mission, you're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
Yeah. You ever done those, Joe? The Secret Droid and Macro Binocular quest?
Yeah, I did both of them. I really liked the macro binocular one. I thought that was really fun.
Now, that was the main story one you're talking about. You did, right?
Yeah.
Do you do any of the dailies or anything like that?
No, not really. I
Not many
once
people
I finished
do,
it.
and they're actually a good way to make some quick bucks. They brought up a little bit about season 2 of Knights of the Fallen Empire, but they didn't have an answer on that, as I figured they wouldn't. Oh, this was the other thing. The different class content. Now they even admitted there's one story, which I think we all got that out. We're all going to be the Outlander, so it's pretty much all the one story. But the differences are but there will be differences based on classes. Some classes may not run into something that others will. So the story could play out completely different for another class. Or not completely different, but you're definitely going to have differences like that. So
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to doing this story, just replaying the agent story again and having so much fun with that and making decisions. And I know that the end like still kind of comes out the same, but while you're doing it and those immediate consequences that you make or that happen to you, it's really fun, and I'm really excited that BioWare is doing the storytelling in this way.
yeah, I'm definitely.
Even with all these end game stat changes and all these things, it's still gonna be a fun game for me personally to just go in and do the story. 8 times. How many how many alts do I have?
So, Joe, are you an altaholic? Altaholic?
I have to say I am. Yes. I have many alts, but it's because the stories can be so different, so you just have to make loads of characters to play them all. Especially the agent one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know I only really talk about my assassin, but I am trying to get all 16 advanced classes, and I'm pretty close. I think I just have a few more Empire ones and a lot of Republic, but understandable because I don't like
lot of Republic.
Play pub side. But that is something that I'm working on, and I do like to go in and play all the stories, even if I don't like to raid with all of them.
Yeah, I was encouraged to see that, and I definitely like. And even though we're going on in the future, wanting to have one core story, it's nice to see that they're still going to keep those differences in there for the classes. So I'm encouraged by that. So real quick, before we wrap up kind of some of the news, what are you guys' predictions on Knights of the Fallen Empire? Just real quick, what's something that you are excited about or are looking forward to? Something like that.
Hmm. I don't know. I can't predict anything because I don't know. I predict that we'll probably have to rescue Theron Shan again.
Oh,
Is
you
that a
think
spoiler?
Theron? Oh, we're going to have to rescue Theron again. How about you, Joe? Anything you got on your mind that you're excited about, or maybe a prediction?
Uh, I think it'd be fun to see if we actually can join the Emperor on his side,
Ooh.
like the trailer suggested.
Oh, that would be wild. I have to admit that would be kind of cool.
No, but yeah, I mean, I was redoing the Ilum storyline again, and you know how Darth Malgus goes rogue on you guys. I mean, I wish there would have been an option instead of killing him
Yeah, no
to
kidding.
be like, hey, you know, I agree with Darth Malgus. Let me join your side. So I think, yeah, that would be really cool, Joe.
Wow, nice segue into my prediction, Heather, with your Malgus reference. I don't think Malgus is dead. Obviously, we saw the carbonite thing in the trailer, and as much as they're like, "Oh, that was just extra that Blur did," blah blah blah, I'm predicting Malgus is coming back. I think we're going to see Malgus finally get his just due. I mean, the dude was focused on the prominently throughout the lead-in for this game going live. They gave him a statue. Are you kidding me? I'm thinking he's going to play a big part in this upcoming expansion and into the future. So I
And
am.
he
That's my
did
prediction.
have some really interesting ideas, you know, bringing aliens into the
Mm-hmm.
Empire,
Yep.
and so that was kind of cool.
So that was our real quick predictions. If you've got your own predictions, definitely shoot us some there, you guys in the chat room. And also, if you guys want to post them on our website or email them to us at curlingrun@gmail.com. We'd really like to hear your predictions. And if we get some of your predictions, we will read them off next time. So, and I think we're going to go into our quick mentions now. And I think Heather had a little something for us again.
Oh yeah, I have our pretty little operation tip, our plop tip of the week or of the show.
Heather's plops.
So today's plop, I was going to mention that if you are doing operations, that if you're maybe having trouble with your DPS or maybe just with your DPS, you can go to the leaderboards, like the operation leaderboards on Parsley, and see what some of the top DPS are doing during certain fights because the site divides up the parses by fights under the operations.
Well,
And
before we
so
go too far, what is parsley?
Parsley is it's like a parse program website. I mean, I
Yeah.
use Star Parse, but you can upload your parses directly from there, I think still,
Mm-hmm.
or still onto their website. So basically, it compares people's rotations and just all the stats that they're doing in game with their combat logs.
Yeah, and I like to see those combat logs, not only people that are parsing on the dummy, but also the parses that they do on bosses. You actually in game under fire parses. I think those are more telling for me, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can look at just like the dummy parses also, which are cool. I mean, you can definitely work on that and
Mm-hmm.
and try and get the top numbers. But if you're working on progression or if you're working on operations and you want to see what other people with your class and discipline are doing, so it was really helpful and kind of exciting for me to go look at tour card mode and say, oh, there's only two deception people on there, and I'm right on par with them. And so that was really great to see. And so yeah, if you're having trouble downing a fight and maybe your DPS is the problem, you should go take a look and see what those other players are doing that have beat it.
And we'll have the link to parsley in the show notes. So thank you, Heather, for your plops, and we'll look forward to future plops from you in the future. So let's see. We also take a moment in some of our quick mentions. I want to mention Volk. He's been a guest on here and also a guest on some other podcasts, and everybody knows him, a big prominent guy in the community. He has a new website at Vulkk.com, VULKK.com, and so you can go now and get, that is where he is, his hub, as we were talking hubs, his hub for all his videos, streaming, and all that good stuff. Anything related to Volk and his stuff and what he's doing, you can find there at Vulkk.com. So congratulations to Volk on getting his website out.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really nice for him to have too, especially when he's he has the YouTube videos, but he streams on Twitch. But now he's going to probably be streaming on YouTube, and so it's really nice for fans to just have the one place to find him, to see what he's up to, and to see where the newest content that he's running is.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely cool to see him get that stuff like that, because he is such a great guy and a great person in the community. So that is a good thing to see there. So any other quick mentions we're going to talk about?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Volk, you guys recently had him on Passionately Casual. You want to tell people a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we did get an interview Volk on Passionately Casual podcast. That is, of course, Jessie's on there. She's a co-host with me. I'm actually her co-host in that show. She asked me to come along. That was actually with our Unholy Alliance Guild. That is kind of a guild cast that's got a little bit bigger, with trying to highlight some of the community, but primarily our guild cast. We do a little something to keep everybody up to date on the events going on in our guild, like different things, operations, different things, our progression teams, stuff like that. And we also have a moment where we interview, which we got an interview with Volk, and we got some other people lined up, and we got some surprise guests coming down the pipes too. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. It's kind of cool. It's very casual, as the title, Passionately Casual, keeps it, and it's a lot of fun. So we, and I also give a shout out to Mox, the audio engineer from Unholy Alliance. He also does a real good job on having that. So it's a little different for me, because I can just kind of sit back and kind of just talk. So instead of having to do the video, audio, and all that good stuff. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, definitely. We will put a link in that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be here at Corellian Run Radio, but that's just kind of cool that I get to help out with our guild on that. So
we have one more quick mention on Massively OP. We got featured in an article there. The title of the article was "SWTOR Sites You Should Visit," something like that, written by Larry Everett of Hyperspace Beacon. And so I thought that was a really nice tribute to us and some other notable websites and streamers and podcasts that you should check out within the SWTOR community. Yeah,
that was pretty cool. To be listed on some of his top 10 that he wants to visit, I was like, what? Us? Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
It wasn't top 10. It was
no, not top 10. I mean, it's just 10 places he goes to look at. That's what I meant. Like, once he has the counter. I'm not saying the top 10. Heck no. But definitely seeing that, I was like, whoa, okay, thanks, man.
Yeah,
so
cool.
And let's see, Bad Feeling was on there, Otini Cast, they had Board Brit Gamers, one of the streamers, Snave, and of course Redna. We've had him on the show, so that was cool to see.
Yeah, Board Brit Gamer's great. I've seen him in the chat room a few times. He's cool.
He is very cool. In fact, I'd like to get him on the show. So, Board Brit, if you're out there, man, get in touch with us. We'd like to get you on the show. Chris is a great guy. So.
Oh, speaking of random shout-outs, if your name is Alberto and I met you at the San Diego Community Cantina and we talked about people not being able to subscribe, please contact me, because I didn't get any of your contact info and we'd really like to discuss that maybe on my blog or somewhere else.
Oh, cool.
He listens to all the podcasts.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely get in touch with us.
So he'll hear me.
Excellent. So we got any other shout-outs you want to give out?
Joe?
Joe, definitely. Joe, once again, tell us where people can find your blog and your email and anything, Twitter, if you want to give out that. Go right ahead.
Our blog is gadgetsandkadgets.blogspot.co.uk, and I am on Twitter at JO3Y502, so you can find me there.
Awesome. And we will have links to all that, so you guys can definitely get a hold and follow Joe. And see what he's all up to in the gaming world. And hopefully we'll have another article from him and have him back on the show. And let's see, you mentioned different guilds and stuff like that. So we're speaking of things we'd like to hear from any of you guilds out there. We definitely want to hear from you guys. We're looking to do more guild ready checks. So if you're interested, send us an email at corellianrun@gmail.com or to heather@prettylittlesith.com. Definitely stay tuned for those because we'd definitely like to hear from all the guilds out there. Don't forget to check out the great articles on CRR this past week. Like Joe's, we're hoping to get one of his out, so definitely want to keep that in mind. But please take a moment to leave us a positive feedback on iTunes. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast app.
If you'd like to contact us or have any questions or ideas for discussion topics on the show, email us at corellianrun@gmail.com. You can also follow and tweet us on Twitter at corellianrun. My personal Twitter handle is at Heather_PLS, and Jason is at JT_holonet. If you're on Facebook, you can like our Facebook page, or you can also join our Facebook group. You can also leave a voicemail for us on the website, corellianrun.com, or on the Facebook page that could possibly be featured on the show. Finally, if you'd like to be a writer like Joe or submit content for our website, send an email to jason@corellianrun.com.
That's going to wrap it up for us at Corellian Run Radio. Thanks to all our fans, followers, and those loyal listeners, especially all those that tuned in the chat room. I want to thank you guys. That's always great to have you guys live with us. And until next time, I'm Jason.
I'm Heather. May the force be with you, or keep those blasters by your side, kid.
You've been listening to Corellian Run Radio, a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast. Tune in next time to hear Heather say,
Goodbye, nightmare?
End transmission.